teams celebrating their 4th World Cup championship yesterday.
So good.
The only thing more hype than their post-game celebration in the locker room was this. Right here, the All-Stars giving them props. Tom Brady giving his patented "let's go" with some festive emojis. Aaron Rodgers added incredibly inspiring World Cup by our U.S. women's national team. So much fun to watch. And Julie Ertz took some time to snap a photo with her husband, Eagles tight end Zach Ertz right there. Love that couple.
So good.
Good
This is
stuff.
such a great tournament, and to see the whole nation be able to get behind a team for the first time in a while was just outstanding.
If we're going to get behind something, we need to get behind that equal pay. What Aaron Rodgers had up there, hashtag equal pay, for that type of work, they are a dominant team, the best team that we have, and they're getting paid less than our men. That's what we should get behind.
100% agree with you, C.
Here, here, see, I like that. All right, let's get back to the biggest story in the NBA. See, you broke this one. The Clippers signing Kawhi and trading for Paul George. Many were speculating that Kawhi would join the Lakers to create a big three, but many were wrong as he instead joins the other team in LA to form a dynamic duo. Nick, are PG and Kawhi the best duo in the NBA?
No, they might be on the best team in the NBA. We have to see how the roster fully shakes out. They're going to, I'm sure, be in it for Iguodala, some buyout guys. That is one discussion, but the best duo is the other team in Los Angeles. Even if you believe, as I know some people do, I'm not one of them, but even if you believe Kawhi at this point is marginally better than LeBron, the gap between AD and Paul George is more than enough to make up for that. Now, I think right now the Clippers have a better roster than the Lakers. I know they have a better coaching staff. I know they have a better front office, better organization, all those things. So this isn't which team is better, that's a different discussion. But the best 1-2 punch in the league is LeBron and Anthony Davis. The Clippers, though, now have the only duo that's even close to it. Because before Kawhi and Paul George teamed up, we were talking about who's the best duo after LeBron and Anthony Davis. And we were saying, is it Russ and Paul George? Is it Kawhi and Siakam if he stays? Is it Dame and CJ? Because until Clay comes back and KD comes back, those Kyrie, KD, Steph, Clay, those duos are out of it. So no, I think LeBron and AD are the best duo, the best 1-2 punch we have in the NBA.
I think you make a good point because you have to look at the second player. Even if you want to argue it, who's the best player, the second player makes a big difference. That and the injuries. Right now, we can't talk about who the best duo is because 2 of the 4 best duos, one of the top players is hurt. That being Golden State with Clay and in Brooklyn with KD. So in 2 years, when we're still having this show and we have this discussion, it's going to be a lot harder for us to be able to answer. But right now, you have to be able to give the edge to LeBron and AD, because to me the question is, who's the hardest to defend? And it's those two. They're harder to defend. Now, if you're saying, okay, overall, because of the defense with Paul George and Kawhi, are they better off all around? And because they're younger? Yes, you could fight that argument. But right now on the offensive end, I would say AD and LeBron are the hardest two, given the NBA and way they play, the hardest two to defend.
It's all basically the same question, but which two are the hardest to defend, fit together the best, are going to be the quickest to figure out each other's game and then ultimately lead to success?
Well, so I actually think both these duos will fit together relatively seamlessly. There will be a bit of a question with the Clippers as far as end of game. Who is the end of game closer on that team? I believe it will be Kawhi, but that's also a role Paul George has always wanted in his career, even though it's not a role he's necessarily excelled in. If you remember a couple years ago, CJ, when he was still with the Pacers, CJ Miles took a shot at the end of a playoff game. I think it was against the Cavs, and Paul George was really mad that shot did not go to him. Now, it's different when it's CJ Miles versus Kawhi Leonard. But LeBron and Anthony Davis, to me, it is seamless. To me, because they have no positional redundancy, they will run that pick and roll together. End of games, there is no question the ball will be in LeBron's hand. Now, he might end up passing it to Anthony Davis. To me, both these duos fit together well, but LeBron and AD, it is it is the best pairing he has had since year one with D. Wade. And the reason that one was not as successful as I think this one will be in the very beginning was because they did have that positional redundancy. And with the Clippers as well, you've got two guys who play the same spot and do the similar things. Kawhi just does everything a little bit better than Paul George. That's what they've got to figure out.
Yeah, I think the AD and LeBron, it's ready to go, no matter what kind of game you want to play. They want to go pick and roll. They want to play up and down. They want to play fast break. Anthony Davis has the ability. I just think when we get into these conversations, we don't give Anthony Davis the credit that he deserves as a player, because last year, based on what the team did with his contract demands, we didn't see his overall ability. But Anthony Davis is a spectacular player, being able to get up and down the court. I wonder how teams are going to defend him. And also, I believe at this stage of LeBron's career, they're a perfect fit. LeBron gives him one of many assists by letting him wear number 23. Right now, there has to be a discussion with the Clippers. Who's going to finish the game, what type of sets we're going to run. But you know every set can involve LeBron and AD if you were closing out a game.
It's a little cliche, but like with the Clippers, who gets announced last? Little things like that that make it clear who the man on the team is. I think it's going to be Kawhi, but it's something.
But that's why it's a better fit, Paul George and Kawhi, because Kawhi doesn't care.
He doesn't care about that stuff.
He doesn't care.
But the one other point you mentioned, we forget about Anthony Davis. There is an element of when Kawhi only played those 9 games 2 seasons ago, people forgot how dominant he was in his last healthy season. He almost won league MVP. His team had the #1 defense in basketball. He was giving it to the Warriors in Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals, and then he went away for a year. To a lesser degree, something similar is happening with Anthony Davis. The last fully healthy season we've seen with Anthony Davis, played 75 games, first-team All-NBA MVP candidate. This was kind of a lost season. I think he will remind everyone how dominant he can be this upcoming year.
All right, let's get back and talk some baseball on the other side. The commissioner, Rob Manfred, will join us here in Cleveland. First things first, back after this.